Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today into the life of, well, a fascinating woman, Zilda Gama.
She's not someone everyone knows right off the bat.
Right, like you think Brazilian Spiritism, you think Chico Xavier, but Zilda, she was kind of a pioneer way before him.
Absolutely. And what's really cool about Zilda is she wasn't just this medium. Her life was this whole mix of education, activism, and of course, that deep connection to the spiritual side of things.
Exactly, a real blend. So for this deep dive, we've got biographical stuff, historical context to consider, and even some intriguing links to Victor Hugo.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other layer.
It is. But let's start, back at the beginning. Zilda, born 1878, small district in Minas Gerais, Brazil.
And her early life, it was marked by some pretty heavy stuff, tragedies that really, you can see how they shaped her.
Yeah, like losing her older sister when she was young, and then just a few years later, boom, both parents gone within months.
Imagine the impact of that.
Heartbreaking. And she was only 24 when she became guardian to her 5 younger siblings. Later on, she even took in 5 orphan nephews.
Talk about responsibility, right?
Yeah.
It speaks volumes about her strength, I think.
No kidding. That kind of resilience, it's like the foundation for her whole life story. And then she channels that strength into education, becomes a teacher.
Yeah, and not just any teacher. Remember, 1929, she wins a state-level competition for, what was it called? Model classes.
Model classes, yeah. It wasn't just about, checking off the qualification boxes. She was good, dedicated to her students.
Totally. And her commitment to, I guess you could say, social justice,
Yeah.
it went way beyond the classroom. Zilda was a big advocate for women's rights, which back then, that was radical.
Oh, for sure. Women were expected to be, in the home, but Zilda, she challenged that.
Mm-hmm. 1931, she's at this huge women's congress, and they're pushing for suffrage, the right to vote.
And get this, her thesis, the one she presented at the Congress, it gets adopted.
Directly contributing to Brazilian women getting the vote.
Huge accomplishment. Now, running parallel to all of this, Zilda's also developing this deep connection to the spirit world.
And this wasn't brand new for her. She had these experiences going back to childhood.
Oh, right. There's that story about the doctor, the one who prophesied she'd become a spiritist propagandist?
Yeah, basically spreading the teachings of Spiritism.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, she kind of brushed it off.
Not quite ready for that path yet. So how did she come to embrace Spiritism fully?
Well, her spirit guide, Mercedes, seemed to confirm that prophecy. It's like that confirmation solidified things for her.
Interesting. And we got to remember, this is all before mediums like Chico Xavier became household names. Zilda was a pioneer, especially in Brazil, opening up this whole connection with the spirit world.
Exactly. She was one of the first in Brazil to receive all this literature from the spirit world, what they call psychography. Basically, the medium writes down messages, sometimes whole books even, that are supposedly dictated by spirits.
Wow, that's wild. So what kind of literature was she receiving?
Okay, so this is where it gets even more interesting. Imagine she's told she'll be psychographing an entire novel. And not just any novel, one communicated by the spirit of Victor Hugo.
Victor Hugo, as in Les Miserables, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Victor Hugo. Now I need to know more. Tell me everything.
Okay, hold on. Well, the first one, the novel's called Na Sombra e na Luz, published by the FB, the Brazilian Spiritist Federation.
So we've got Zilda, this incredible educator, a fighter for women's rights, and now she's channeling Victor Hugo, one of the literary giants.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to this Zilda and Victor Hugo connection, but let's dive into this Victor Hugo connection a bit more. We're talking more than just one novel here.
Okay, so what other books are attributed to Victor Hugo through Zilda's, psychography?
Well, there's Redenção, Dor Suprema, and Almas Crucificadas, all published by the FE, by the way.
Okay, so those are on top of Na Sombra e na Luz. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. We've got Solder de Polo, Na Serra Bendita, Na Cruzada de Mestre, and Elegias Douradas. All Victor Hugo, supposedly.
Wow. A whole collection. And these weren't just simple stories, right? They were pretty complex.
No, not at all. Like Do Calvario, Ao Infinito, that was really interesting. It's set in 19th century Russia, all about souls connected over multiple lifetimes, trying to make amends for past, wrongs. Redemption, basically.
So almost like a mix of spiritual teachings with, what, historical fiction?
Exactly. And remember, Zilda herself, she was skeptical at first about this whole psychographing a novel thing. How could SHE, a woman dedicated to education and, fighting for women's rights, suddenly be channeling Victor freaking Hugo?
Yeah, I can see that. But you mentioned before how she described the actual writing process.
Oh, she said it was super fluid, almost like Victor Hugo's spirit was really guiding her hand.
That's pretty wild. Makes you think about inspiration, like maybe spirits collaborate with us creatively. But okay, you also said something about a claim made by Divaldo Franco. What's that about?
Ah, yes. Divaldo Franco, he's a well-known spiritist, right? He's got this theory that Zilda and Victor Hugo, they had a past life connection.
Great, seriously.
Yeah. He says Zilda was actually Victor Hugo's daughter, Leopoldine, in a previous life. And apparently, Leopoldine tragically drowned young, which is what led Victor Hugo to Spiritism in the first place.
Whoa, okay, that's a whole new level to their relationship, like their souls drawn back together across lifetimes to, I don't know, maybe finish some work they started or something. Karma, maybe?
It's definitely a compelling idea.
Yeah.
Makes you think, doesn't it? Is there any proof? What does it say about consciousness after death? Do past lives even affect our current ones, our choices, who we're drawn to?
Big questions, for sure. Like, there are these forces we don't even realize shaping our lives. But with all this focus on the mediumship and the Victor Hugo stuff, we kind of remember Zilda was so much more than just that.
Right. Her other accomplishments, super important. Dedicated educator, wrote books on teaching, fought hard for women's rights.
She was a multitasker, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So as we head into the final part of this deep dive, what are some key things you think our listeners should be thinking about?
Well, first off, Zilda's life, it kind of throws those limitations we put on ourselves out the window, Like, she discovers these abilities later in life. Maybe we all have hidden talents just waiting to be, I don't know, awakened.
That's a good point. We define ourselves by what we know NOW, but what if there's way more to us?
Exactly. Second, Zilda and Victor Hugo, whether it's past lives or shared purpose, it shows how connected we all are. Like, bumping into someone might not be random at all.
Cosmic dance, right? Like, it was meant to be.
Totally. And lastly, Zilda, she was everything teacher, activist, spiritual. We don't have to limit ourselves to one label, one passion.
It's about being our full selves, complexities and all. Okay, before we wrap up, gotta leave our listener with one final thought, something to ponder.
Ooh, a cliffhanger. I'm in.
Imagine Divaldo Franco's right. Zilda, Victor Hugo's daughter in a past life. What does that mean for how we understand the spirit world? And for us, just regular people going about our lives?
Now that's a good question.
Yeah.
Really makes you think.
It's like, if souls can reconnect like that across lifetimes, it implies some serious planning in the spirit world. Something we probably don't get.
Yeah, like way more going on than we see. It's not just random events, right? We're part of this huge thing, maybe playing out roles we agreed to before we were born.
Whoa. So Zilda and Victor Hugo drawn back together to keep spreading the message of Spiritism using those novels. That adds a whole other layer to their collaboration.
For sure. Dedication that goes beyond, like, physical life,
Mm-hmm.
Makes you think about time, but how much spirits can really influence things.
And what about us listening? If that kind of soul connection is real, who are WE connected to? Maybe there are relationships, things we started in past lives affecting us now and we don't even know.
It is kind of mind-blowing. Like, look deeper beyond what you see. There might be things, forces, shaping our lives that we're totally clueless about.
Zilda's story, it really shows us how much we don't know, how connected everything is. She wasn't just a medium, she was a teacher, an activist, a woman ahead of her time. And whatever was going on with Victor Hugo, it points to a spiritual reality that, honestly, we should all be exploring.
Absolutely. Don't take things at face value. Question your assumptions. Dive into the mysteries of your own life.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Zilda Gama, I have a challenge for everyone listening. Think about your life. Are there patterns that repeat? Connections that seem, I don't know, meant to be? Weird coincidences? Maybe those are hints of a purpose, a soul connection you haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, ask those big questions. Follow those gut feelings. Explore. You might surprise yourself. Maybe you'll discover hidden talents, just like Zilda did.
And hey, maybe you'll even check out Zilda's books, see what Victor Hugo was communicating through her. We'll put links in the show notes, easy to find.
Until next time, keep searching, keep questioning, keep digging deeper. There's always something new to learn, someone new to connect with.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into Zilda Gama's life. It really was a life less ordinary.
And thank you for listening, for being curious, for wanting to explore with us.
Happy deep diving, everyone.